Our big focus today, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has kicked off his two-day Bangladesh visit. And over the next 2 days in Bangladesh, Prime Minister Modi will hold talks with Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and President Abdul Hamid. He will be participating in Golden Jubilee celebration of Bangladesh's independence and the birth centenary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Now, after arrival in Dhaka, a couple of hours from now, he will attend the National Day program in the second half of the day. This is Prime Minister Modi's first foreign visit since the pandemic broke out. Prime Minister Modi released a statement ahead of his much-awaited trip to Bangladesh, where he noted the deep cultural and linguistic ties between the two countries. The Prime Minister also said that he was looking forward to offering prayers at the Joshareshwari Kali temple and interacting with the Matua community. The Prime Minister said that he will commit India's abiding support to Bangladesh and express solidarity with Dhaka on the fight against COVID-19. And our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is joining us live from Dhaka. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us. Can you just walk us through the events of the day today?
Well, yes, the entire event here in Dhaka today is focused on the celebration of the 50th independence year of the country, and today, Dhaka is in a celebratory mood, but also a lot of caution, a lot of security. Right now, we're standing at the media center where, of course, the officials will be briefing about the entire visit of the Indian Prime Minister. He will be shortly landing. He will be going to Martyrs Memorial, where he will make a short speech. That will be important, given the fact that he is expected to pay homage to the Bangladeshi soldiers who laid their lives for the creation of the modern state of Bangladesh. This is a 50th anniversary. We know that in terms of achieving, Bangladesh has achieved a lot in terms of a lot of economic indicators. It will soon graduate from LDC to upper level. But largely, if we talk about today's focus areas, he of course will be taking part in the celebrations which will take place later this evening. Then of course he will go to a place, it's a convention center, where he will inaugurate jointly with the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina the Bapu Bangabandhu digital exhibition. Now that is interesting, given the fact that this is a traveling digital exhibition. It was earlier in New Delhi, which of course WION covered. Now it is here in Dhaka. Again, WION has covered. We got exclusive rights to cover it. And of course, the focus is to celebrate the lives of these two great leaders who, in a sense, changed not only South Asia, but the entire world. And their ideals still live here in South Asia and across the globe. We also know that the Indian Prime Minister has written an editorial today in one of the leading dailies here in Bangladesh, in which he talked about the life of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, talked about his ideals and how his ideals can change South Asia. But a lot of deliverables as well expected during this entire visit. Especially today, we can expect an announcement on connectivity. There can be an announcement on connectivity between New Jalpaiguri in the Indian state of West Bengal with Bangladesh. We know just a few months ago, in fact, in December of 2020, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina jointly inaugurated the rail link, the Haldibari Chilahati rail link, and trying to make sure that all pre-existing railway lines, 1965 pre-existing railway lines are established. So largely connectivity will be key focus in terms of deliverables, but tomorrow will be significant in terms of the shared cultural heritage of both the countries. As you pointed out, he will be going to Orakandi, he will be going to Shakti Peeth, he will be also paying his homage to Bangabandhu at Tangipara. This is the birthplace of the father of the nation of Bangladesh. So there is a lot of symbolism involved that will not only reverberate here in Bangladesh, here in Dhaka, but also in India. We know there is a backdrop to it in terms of the elections in West Bengal. So that shadow also remains during his visit to Bangladesh.
Right, Siddhant. Also, talks to deepen cooperation will also figure in his visit. There will also be a range of agreements that will be signed. What can you tell us about that?
will take place here in Dhaka tomorrow afternoon. There can be announcement on a new road, the Swadhinta Sadak. This is an important road given the fact that through this road, the father of the nation of Bangladesh, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, entered into Bangladesh, and of course the liberation war was underway. Today, in fact, is the day when in 1971 Sheikh Mujibur Rahman gave the call of independence of Bangladesh. But in terms of MOUs, 3 MOUs are expected to be signed. One, of course, focusing on connectivity. In fact, connectivity has been the larger highlight of the relationship, a relationship which is being described as as a relationship which is going through the Shonali Adhyay, or the golden era of this relationship. And through connectivity, not only growth will increase for Bangladesh, but also for India's northeast, because India's northeast is a location which is disconnected in terms of ports. So the Bangladeshi ports can be used for that.
All right, Siddhant, just stay with us. We will come back to you. Lakmina Jasmine is present at the airport in Dhaka, where Prime Minister Modi has disembarked, and let's just take a look at her report.
Dhaka is fully prepared to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. At this moment, the 3 forces are taking preparation at the airport. The red carpet has been laid here as the Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be given a red carpet reception. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will welcome him at the airport. The government is following the highest health guidelines due to the corona epidemic. After all the formalities at the airport, he will go to the National Memorial in Savar. There he will pay homage to the martyrs of the 1971 Liberation War against Pakistan. This is Lakmina Jasmine Soma for WION at Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport in Dhaka.
And on your screens are the live visuals right now. As you know, over the next 2 days in Bangladesh, Prime Minister Modi will hold talks with Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and President Abdul Hamid. He will be participating in the Golden Jubilee celebration of Bangladesh's independence and birth centenary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. You can see the live visuals on your screens. His plane has touched down in Dhaka right now. This is where Prime Minister Modi will disembark and then start his 2-day visit, where he will hold talks with Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and President Abdul Hamid. After arrival in Dhaka, a couple of hours from now that is, he will attend the National Day program in the second half. This is his first foreign visit since the pandemic broke out last year. Prime Minister Modi also released a statement ahead of this much-awaited trip. He noted the deep cultural and linguistic ties between the two countries. He also said that he was looking forward to offering prayers at the Jashareshwari Kali temple and interacting with the Matwa community. The main message from his visit is to reaffirm the high-level relationship with Bangladesh and celebrate the 2 anniversaries with Bangladesh. This visit will also give a big boost to people-to-people relations. India and Bangladesh are also expected to sign a couple of agreements during this visit, particularly on disaster management and trade. And India is likely to announce new partnership with Bangladesh on startups. The two countries will also be exploring a startup conclave. And he will also announce new initiatives in education and environment. Let's just go back to our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, thank you for staying with us. As we can see, these are the live visuals. Prime Minister Modi has touched down in Dhaka. Big day today. There are a lot of issues to be discussed, a lot on the agenda. A lot of announcements are to be made, pacts are to be signed. Looking forward, what can we expect? What can you tell our viewers?
There's an interesting point here. The plane, the Air Force One, this is the new plane which has been brought for VVIP visit, and this is for the first time that the Indian Prime Minister is using it for his foreign visit abroad. So that's a significant nugget from the entire visit. The plane has landed here in Dhaka. In a short while, we will see the Indian Prime Minister going to the Martyrs Memorial. But largely, this visit is about symbolism, a symbolism between the two countries, symbolism of how both the countries have so much in common. It is an organic relationship. While India has been talking about a strategic relationship with many countries, but how India describes its relationship with Bangladesh is by terming it as undergoing its Shonali Adhyay, using a Bengali word to describe or characterize the relationship. So that shows that how things have been common for both the countries.
Yes, let's just talk about Prime Minister Modi's special op-ed published in the leading Bangladesh newspaper, the Daily Star, ahead of the visit. He wrote about the joint march towards a golden future, like you just mentioned, where people could study, work, do business effortlessly across the subcontinent. He also talks about resolving complex bilateral issues in spirit of good neighborliness. What can you tell us about that?
Well, his main focus, his main highlight was on the life and times of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of the nation of Bangladesh. Remember, Bangladesh is celebrating Mujib Barsho, the centenary year of the father of the nation. And India was just recently celebrating the 150th anniversary of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. So there have been many commonalities. In fact, the exhibition that will be inaugurated by both the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has an interesting picture. It has the only picture of both the leaders together, a young Sheikh Mujibur Rahman and Mahatma Gandhi sitting together. Nowhere in the world there is such picture in terms of both the leaders present together. That has been shown. But largely, if we look at what he wanted to convey, the message, a message of solidarity, a message of kinship between the two countries, and how in terms of engagement, it is a relationship that has gone in an upward direction. In fact, there are many commonalities in terms of connectivity. Both Bangladesh and India share over 50 rivers. That means that connectivity through river is something that comes very naturally to this part of the world, and that of course is significant in terms of boosting economic growth. Also, both the countries are part of the BIMSTEC grouping. Just a few days from now, the BIMSTEC foreign ministers meeting will be taking place. The virtual meeting will be taking place, in which both the Indian External Affairs Minister and the Bangladeshi Foreign Minister will be present, and their focus will be on how to make sure that this region can come together and under one umbrella boost connectivity, growth, and provide opportunities and employment to the people of this part of South Asia and of course ASEAN as well. There are two countries from ASEAN in the BIMSTEC grouping as well. So largely his message was a message that how the ideals of Bapu and Banga Bandhu are common and they go towards peace, stability and prosperity.
Yes, Siddhant, absolutely. And also you mentioned earlier as well, India and Bangladesh have made good progress in connectivity. Prime Minister Modi also referred to plans like Bangladeshi barges travelling all the way to Varanasi. And then, of course, there is the rail link. These are some major points that he mentioned in his special op-ed.
Well, yes, of course, the focus between India and Bangladesh is to revive all the pre-1965 rail links. 5 of them have been revived. There will be an announcement on a rail link connecting New Jalpaiguri and Bangladesh. There are a lot of people who come from Bangladesh to India. In fact, one significant thing which we can tell to our viewers is that the Indian High Commission in Bangladesh is the most busiest one in the world in terms of giving visas. It gives the maximum number of visas anywhere in the world, any high commission in the world, high commission or embassy. That shows the number of Bangladeshis who come to India for education, for medical tourism. There are a lot of Bangladeshis who go to Tamil Nadu for medical tourism. So that has been something that has been a top priority for the Indian government amidst the pandemics, so that the Bangladeshis who used to come to India can come to India for treatment of other diseases. And also remember, when it comes to India's COVID the Vaccine Maitri initiative, the vaccine outreach initiative, India gave vaccines to Bangladesh. That was the highest number of India-made vaccines given by India to any country in the region. India has given vaccines to all the countries in South Asia, barring of course Pakistan, and that shows the level of priority India is giving to Bangladesh under its neighborhood first policy. Bangladesh is also giving a lot of priority to India. The fact that they have invited the Indian Prime Minister for this momentous occasion, 50 years, is truly a remarkable and a landmark occasion for any country. I remember when India was celebrating its 50th anniversary, we all were kids, so that time there were celebrations, and the celebration at that level is taking place in Bangladesh, of course with all protocols, COVID protocols being followed. Of course, like anywhere in the world, cases are high here, and the focus is to make sure that the COVID protocols are followed. Even during this visit, a lot of protocols are being followed, masks, and even on the roads you will see people wearing masks. So focus is that how amidst the COVID pandemic both countries can work together. The Indian Prime Minister in fact last year called for the SAARC summit on COVID protocols, on making sure that there can be a common decision when it comes to fighting this pandemic in South Asia, and Bangladesh participated in it, provided fund also for the emergency fund which was announced by the Indian Prime Minister. So Bangladesh is always keen when it comes to India-led initiative in the region. Absolutely. And of course India is also taking part in Bangladesh-led initiative. If there is infrastructure issues that can be resolved. Absolutely. So these are the things that comes very naturally for India and Bangladesh. Level, a diplomatic maturity has been reached between the two countries, and the focus is to make sure that this continues throughout, whosoever is in India, whosoever is in Bangladesh, for the wider prosperity of the region. The Indian Prime Minister is doing the same with other countries as well, whether it's Maldives, whether it's Sri Lanka. But yes, talking specifically about Bangladesh, well, last 15 days were packed days for Bangladesh because of the celebration. The Indian Prime Minister has come at the grand finale. He has been invited for the grand finale. Before him, the President of Maldives, the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, the President of Nepal, and also the Prime Minister of Bhutan came to Bangladesh for the celebrations.
Yes, Siddhant, absolutely. And also India is likely, we're talking about wider prosperity of the region, India is likely to announce new partnerships on startups as well. The countries are exploring a startup conclave to incentivize startups and partnerships in both the countries. There will also be, like I mentioned earlier, initiatives in education.
India is always keen on...
Yes, go ahead, Siddhant.
Well, on startup, as you just pointed out, on startup, India is always keen on that. Domestically, we have seen India's Startup India program focusing on entrepreneurship, and that is what India has been telling to its neighbor. In fact, there was an initiative under plans for a SAARC startup initiative. It could not take place because of the obvious reason when it comes to SAARC grouping, but also because of the COVID crisis as well. So this is something that India is bilaterally engaging with countries in the region, whether it's Bangladesh or other countries, as part of its neighborhood first policy.
Yes, Siddhant, and he's also, like I was going to mention this earlier, initiatives in education and environment. This is especially about the meeting Paris commitments, and space and societal applications of nuclear technology and emerging tech issues are also to be part of this new approach to Bangladesh.
Well, yes, as you specifically pointed out, the Paris Climate Accord, Bangladesh is one of those countries who will be impacted because of the climate change, and it has been very vocal about it on international platforms, and it was of course happy in terms of the Americans joining it back. So this is something that both New Delhi and Dhaka are working on. India has an initiative called the International Solar Alliance. It has invited so many countries. Bangladesh of course is quite enthusiastic about the New Delhi-led initiative. This is something that has drawn attention of the world as well, lauded by the UN as well. So both India and Bangladesh working together, because whatever happens in Bangladesh also impacts India, the Indian states bordering it, whether it's West Bengal, Assam, the northeastern states. So that is why there has to be a joint cooperative policy that helps the entire region together. And if you look at the kinship between West Bengal and Bangladesh, in fact, one thing I can point out, what I got to know here talking to people is that they're very keen on the elections in the Indian state of West Bengal. It is rarely we have seen that any country being keen on the fact that election is taking place in any of the provinces of another country, but that shows that how much things in India impact people in Bangladesh, and also things in Bangladesh impact India.
Right, Siddhant. And also when we talk about deepening defense cooperation, you know, security and defense is an important part of our relations, cooperation with Bangladesh. So what can we expect on that front?
Well, on security, in fact, we provided them mortars last year. In fact, in December, we provided them mortars, and also Indian Navy ships visited the Mongla port just recently as part of the celebrations of the India-Pakistan 1971 war, which is known as the Liberation War of Bangladesh here. This shows the increased engagement. There have been joint patrols between the Indian Navy and the Bangladeshi Navy. They have been doing it, trying to make sure that piracy, if there is any, can be controlled. There is, of course, a few thorny issues as well. One, of course, is the Teesta water issue. That is something that primarily everyone knows, both in New Delhi and here in Dhaka, that water is an issue that comes under states in India, and West Bengal is not very keen on it under Mamata Banerjee, and they are, of course, keenly awaiting the election results as well. So things which impact Bangladesh, also things happening in Kolkata, but primarily coming back to the defense partnership. This is something that both sides are engaging on in a very strong manner in terms of patrolling, in terms of giving equipments by the Indian side to the Bangladeshi side. So there is absolutely no domain where both sides are not collaborating. There is almost every domain you can talk about where there is a collaboration between India and Bangladesh, from climate change to startup to defense. In fact, we can continue to talk about it, because this shows the depth of the relationship between New Delhi and Dhaka, something which will be celebrated during this visit. In fact, this visit is all about the celebration of this relationship, the close partnership, alliance of two democracies in South Asia, how this relationship has become a model relationship in a very fast changing world, in a world where there are, of course, people of different shades.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.